talking the mess, yeah.
I kind of like that they're like, you know, I could just have a hairstyle in my hair that's like actually like a hairstyle and then still protective. So right now all I have in my hair is like literally coconut oil. Yes, coconut oil. And then for the to hold it down, I'm gonna use how do I do it? It's actually not that bad. And it's not like super flaky and stuff, so it's not like max strength hold and stuff like that, but it's like not like watery AF and like just giving gel. I kind of hate having to do like box braids and stuff on myself only because I don't have like a pair of eyes in the back of my head, but I also don't like people touching my hair. Like I literally grew up like that. So I'm gonna just do my best. I got this red tail comb and this brush, and I'm just gonna put like about this many braids in my hair. So you know what? Screw the comb, because I'm not super picky and I'm not a perfectionist about parts. So as long as it's like generally straight, I'm good. And literally I love how coconut oil is like one of those oils that's still hydrating. Like it's not like just clogging, like it's still like airy. And then this is that, what's it called, developer I put in my hair. This is a developer I put in my hair like about 2 years ago now. A lot of it grew out. I'm so curious to straighten my hair. I just don't have, you know what I'm saying, the desire to damage it. Oh man, I don't even remember the last time I straightened my hair. Typically, I'll put most of it on my scalp and like the edges, like where you can see the scalp, like the perimeters and all that. And then the ends. I don't know, my ends aren't that bad right now, so I don't need to trim it so direly. Put it against a white background. If I do trim it, I need to trim like about much. And then just distribute it. Success and like having money kind of scares me. Like sometimes people try to give me money, like offer me help and stuff like that, and then literally sometimes when I physically am around money, it scares me. Like I'm talking about like if I see like even at the store, like when people pull out cash and they're just about to pay for their item. If I was like working, for example, and then I'm just seeing somebody doing that and going through it, I'm just like, it just scares me. I don't know. It's not that I never want to be somebody that has like real good stable money. It just scares me what money can do to people's heads, like, or how it can like alter how they treat people, how they think about life, how humble or not somebody is. Like, you know, when people start getting money or a lot of it, I notice they start acting like they're better than people, or like things that they kind of grew up having, or things they kind of grew up doing, or things that people still kind of do to this day. And You know, when people can't afford things that maybe they do, all of a sudden all the humble bones in their body break, and then it's just like, no, you don't have to stick to the same damaging things that you always had in your life. Like, I'm not talking about, oh, if you grew up eating like a certain way, you have to always eat like TV dinners and stuff like that, like all the time. But my thing is like, it's stuff like going to the thrift store. Like, if people have like money and they just look at hand-me-downs or their stores and discount stores and all that type of stuff is like just useless and cheap, and they used to shop like that, and like people still shop like that, you know what I'm saying? Or like, basically people that act like having money means you have to prove that you have it, and then you also have to dress to the nines and try to be a celebrity and be somebody, or you know what I'm saying, like try to live to impress instead of living to be happy. That type of stuff boggles my mind, because yeah, there's a difference between being humble and staying in a comfort zone. So like, you know, there's also a difference between people having money and appreciating it and getting what they can, and respecting people that can't really afford certain things, and they just choose to live a certain way. There's those people, and then there's people that literally look down on people that just aren't going out their way to be the best or be better than people. Finally, those bumps are calming down, because, child. But yeah, I don't know. It's not that I don't want what I feel like would be success, you know, like the numbers and the fancy shit. It's just, I'm scared of losing myself. Like, I've seen so many people, and then I can't be the judge, you know. I've seen so many, and it's good to evolve and stuff like that. But I've seen so many people kind of become so two-faced and cold simply just for money and stuff that's like, stuff that's got nothing to do with who you are as a person. And then kind of like, if you were to take away everything of every tangible thing in some of these really successful people's lives, they kind of lost. Like, they don't know who they are. Like, they're used to, you know, shopping, and how they dress is who they are, and like who likes them is who they are, and how many followers they have is who they are. Like, it's not who they are, is who they are. I just don't want one day to look back and see like my sweet side just kind of swallowed by money or clout and shit. I feel like it's possible to do both, like be successful and still be humble. Like, I know it's kind of rare, because most times when you're in the pool of successful people, you start getting around different types of people that do different things and do different jobs, and then they have different motives. Like, people sell different things, and duh, it's life. And realistically, in the business world, people care more about numbers, not only, but more about that and the money. So what's appealing to people and what's gonna grab people's attention, and then what's gonna get people to buy and believe certain things. I feel like it's so easy for me to say, I want my career to kind of revolve around people feeling like people can still be people though, like real and not like totally scripted. Like, I mean, yeah, it's good to have like know that it's the assignment, but then like I feel like a lot of people don't actually try to incorporate who they are into their craft. Like, it's only about what can they gain. And then, like, you know, people are obsessed with people liking them. Like, social media is literally based on likes. You know what I'm saying? And trending. So, I just wanted to still be real. And most of the time, people that are like that, they kind of stay in a certain bracket. And I don't mind. You know, I don't need 10 million, 20 million, 100 million of anything. But is it still possible? Like, I'm trying to figure out, is it still possible to be like that? I could never imagine. And then still be like human. And something I really, really try not to cry about is just watching girls or women, even girls, modify their bodies. It doesn't, it's not like I'm really supportive of people's choices, like, for themselves. Like, I'm not God, or I'm not the judge of nobody. Like, an opinion is just that. Sometimes I have a favorable opinion, sometimes I probably don't, and then I don't make my opinion how somebody should feel about themselves. Like, so I notice on social media, people only support body positivity or modifications and stuff like that if the result is something that they prefer or something that they like to see, or only if it turns out okay. And then if somebody, people are always screaming, be positive and be supportive and be kind, and then when someone's not conventionally attractive, or like they're not super skinny or super thick, or they're not dark enough or light enough or tall enough, or they're this or that or whatever, like, you just read comments and it's just people being mean. It really don't make sense to me. Like, people are hypocrites, so it make me not even wanna, argue with nobody on the internet. Like, I'm a queen of just swipe and delete a comment, or swipe and delete. Even seeing a comment under somebody's post that I don't like, I just block and report it, because I just don't want the energy in my life. Like, I'll probably never meet those people that are like bullies online, but it's just like, I literally just block it out. I want to get into stuff like makeup and stuff like skincare and stuff like that, and hair and all that, and like I like feeling like I can hop on board with stuff like that, but then I don't want to be a clone either. Like, I'm still trying to be myself. Like, I like the idea of like doing your own thing, and then you may or may not grab the attention and positive and or not so positive attention or opinions of people. I love braids because it's tighter at the top, and then it stays neater longer. So if you have like stuff to do, it don't just look like you better put a wig on top of your hair or something. That's what my hair be looking like nowadays. It just look like was under people's wigs and shit, but I just don't do all the extra shit. Speaking of wigs, I have never worn a wig. That's gonna be the first thing. I've literally never worn a wig. Like, I think I've worn synthetic ones for fun in my house. Like, I ordered one when I was like probably like 18 or 19. And it was like, I didn't know how to read wig specs. So I thought it was longer than it came, and it was 14 inches. It was like right here. I was like, I might as well just straighten my hair. And it was very shiny and looking like synthetic. It wasn't bad. Because synthetic hair is really not that deep. It's not that bad. As long as you take care of it and stuff. Actually, I would prefer to wear a synthetic wig sometimes than real hair. Because it freaks me out. Right? Even though human hair quality is definitely something to appreciate. Whether it's from the scalp or from a wig cap, but have you ever watched those documentaries of the rituals that people go through to get the hair in the bundles for the wigs? It freaks me out. They have like groups of women just sitting around, like in Asian countries or African countries or whatever it is. I don't know, Eurasian or whatever they have, and they're just like, you know what I'm saying, like milking their hair off of them ladies. And it's like, I feel like hair holds a lot of energy and spirituality, right? So I feel like taking somebody else's scalp or energy from their hair, mind you, I know they wash it and like everything, but I don't know, it just genuinely freaks me out, just feeling like having somebody else's scalp sitting on your scalp, and just like, you know what it feels like? It feels like, you know how iPhones nowadays, if you put them, the newer ones, right, if you put them next to one another, stuff starts happening, like data passes and like, or airdrop and shit like that. And then there's permissions that you give or settings that you could set for certain like things to happen automatically sometimes, or like not automatically. So imagine and tap to pay and things like that are just able to read your information, right? And imagine what we don't know, right? So think about technology like that, and think about how it's based on humanity, you know what I'm saying, or it's created by humanity. So imagine what we don't know, what we can't see for real in humanity, like, if that makes sense. Like, we have like circuitry in our bodies and stuff, and electricity and energy everywhere, not just in our body, everywhere. There's energy in this brush. And it's just like, imagine what we don't know is transferring from somebody else's hair. But that's just me. I'm not trying to overthink everything and be paranoid. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to do fun things. Because, like, probably one of these days or one day I'm gonna enjoy things like that. But it's also just like, it's kind of like a spiritual hygiene thing, you know. You don't want to do something like that all the time, because you just don't know. Kind of like eating food. Like, one of the reasons why I don't really eat so much meat all the time is because, you know, when animals are butchered, or like maybe they're probably killed more humanely, if you can call it that, all that stress from their passing and all that is like trauma in their body. And then trauma, you know, if you read it all, definitely has its place in people's bodies. And how do you know what you're eating? And it just freaks me out, because I was watching this like debate one time about vegans versus meat eaters, and then people that were kind of on the fence, so like me. So most of the vegans were making really good points. They were saying, you know, if you compare it to like slavery and stuff, it's kind of like humans feel like they're above animals. Like, they have a food chain that was likely produced by humans. Let's be real, because we're teaching it in schools and we're teaching it. So they were just making really good points, because humans have always felt like they were above everything. At least, you know, yeah, we have different abilities and empathy and opposable thumbs and this and that, but you know we're not you know there's something higher, right? And then our communication style is just that. Like, humans in between each other have different communication styles already. So imagine what humans can't comprehend. And humans put themselves above certain animals and certain ecosystems and stuff. And I was just listening to the debate, and they were like comparing it to slavery, how we put ourselves above animals, and, you know, certain races used to put themselves above other races as if they were animals, and then come to find out people of different colors are still human, and we all bleed the same. And eggs, you know, you crack eggs that are brown and eggs that are white, and oh my god, they look the same inside. So then I was just listening, and I was making it make sense to me. And it was just like, crazy, because the meat people, the meat eaters were saying, well, we were taught, we know that it's beneficial to have this and that, and then this, and then it's like, they were kind of brushing over the fact that there's alternatives to the benefits that you get from meat, like the protein that they were talking about that you need so bad. It was like they were acting like there aren't alternatives and things like that to even try, you know. And then they were arguing that their health declined a lot when they would stop eating so much meat. And I think sometimes, you know, a shift, or sometimes an ascension can seem like a descension, because your body's probably purging a lot of what it's used to. So you probably have to let your body adjust. It's kind of like vertigo. Like if you have a bad back and you crack it into place and you feel nauseous, it's because your fucking body's adjusting. So imagine you think your health is declining because you're not eating meat, and it's probably actually just like detoxing, and then you feel like crap because you didn't notice that it was like detoxing. And then after that, it's like adjusting to its regular settings. Who knows? Ciao, I'm just rambling. I don't even like the fact that, when you go to the grocery store and you're dealing with like meat and stuff, I don't even like that. There's like renderings and juices and stuff that you have to trim off, or you might get sick and then it might be bad or go bad, and then it's so many like obstacles to avoid before you kill yourself trying to eat something that's dead. I don't know, I'm not like vegan, I'm not. And there's different grades and qualities of meat and things like that, so it's good quality. Yeah, so it's meat that's not just butchered and dirty and gross, but all that jazz. But I just know that debate was really interesting, and the points to take were interesting. And literally every time I eat meat, I think about it like, why am I doing this? It kind of makes me think about like probably like slavery. Like there was probably people thinking back to themselves like, when that empathy bulb pops up in your brain, and it's like, is this really necessary? Like treating something other than you less than you. I don't know how to say it. I should probably put a thumbnail of this. I'm not over analytical, but I was just really taking it all in. But most people would probably watch that and get bored after like 10 minutes. And yeah, I want some Chick-fil-A, which I don't blame you because that shit good. But I just try to be mindful. That's all. It really saddened me. One time my mom took me to like a international food store, like a place where they was cutting up the meat in the back. And brother, I was so grossed out and traumatized. Like, dude was just chopping away, and I was just like, nah. And so I just kind of grew up just eating like significantly less meat than everybody around me because it freaked me out, and I just didn't tell anybody. Like, I had like nightmares and stuff. Yeah, bro. It just freaked me out. And then just seeing this shit hanging from the ceiling, I was just like... And then hunters piss me off. Especially when they hunt animals. Like, and I'm all for people doing what they want with their arms and shit, but... Like safely, though. But... I can never just sit and just, like... Imagine, like, looking at an animal... sometimes I'm more hyped than other times. Sometimes I wake up at 6 a.m. and then sometimes I would get up at like 3 p.m. Like today I definitely woke up at like 3 p.m. only because I went to sleep late again. I don't even know if I can call it going to sleep late, because maybe my natural clock is just like something else. And you know, I don't think everybody should be vegan, right? I think on the evolutionary scale, I think people meet different I think people are just on different timelines. I think a lot of people have different needs individually and then by group and by age and everything. So I genuinely feel like some people are just evolutionarily ahead of other people. So when people are talking about AI and this and that, I think people just reach a certain consciousness in their vessel and their surrounding communities and as such get the effects of evolution. I mean, they tell you you're like the 5 closest people around you the most, so you'll be influenced through life by that. This is not gonna be perfect, but it's okay. I think sometimes when you're trying to weigh out like sinning or like if you're a good or bad person or if you should or shouldn't do something, I think we all have like that voice in our head that if you're about to do something and it goes, no, don't do that, or no, this is fine. Or not our voice in our head, like the gut feeling. You should probably listen to that. Like, for example, I made a recipe the other day and I was telling myself, when I picked up the chicken, I was like, I'm probably just gonna cook it for the video's sake, but I'm probably not gonna eat it. And then when I was eating a piece or two, my body was literally saying like, you probably shouldn't eat this part. And I was just like, I think that is the principle. Like, if you know, you shouldn't. And that's just a very simple, innocent example. Some people be out here doing all types of crazy jazz, and I'm not gonna get into none of that, but I think when you have that voice in your head that says, or like for example, if I'm like, I feel like shit when I buy weed and funnel and sheets because I know I'm doing too much. But if I buy like a vape or something, so I can just relax, that doesn't feel like what God told me is you're doing too much. It feels like, okay, that's like an alternative or something. Granted, it's all stupid, but it's the difference, like it's like what your body and your mind is telling you, really, basically. And for some people, it's different things. Like sometimes God's, if I have somewhere to go or something to do, and then God's telling me, like my body's just rejecting going to a certain area, a certain place. If I think about going somewhere, there's like a exclamation mark behind my eyes my body jolts, or like my heart starts beating. I'm like, probably shouldn't go there. And not paranoia, like thinking, oh, what if? No, like it's like a reaction in your body. That is something you should always listen to. Because energy is real. Do something with my hands so I can tire my hands out of my get my mind off of Lord, and I want to smoke so bad. This shit is not easy. Like it, especially for people that have been smoking since they were like probably a kid or like a teenager. Like I used to see people smoking in school. Praise the Lord, I didn't smoke weed in high school, but because I know I wouldn't have graduated, like, or I know I wouldn't have, like, I know some people, they use it for the right reasons. Like some people who can smoke it or drink and they're fine, like they're not like messy or reckless and crazy. And then sometimes it's different for different things and different people, right? So some people know they shouldn't do things because they know they act a fool. And then some people know they don't think right when they do those things. Some people know they don't act right when they do certain things. And some people know, oh, this helps me. And you stay within the threshold of like moderation so that you don't become a fool. And 99% of the time, the thing that you know you would reach for first and not hesitate, I'm talking about like you know it's like something that would just keep you stuck, whether it's anything, even things that are legal, right? Probably attempt to lessen down. Like me, sometimes I want to watch some media and then fill my brain with all types of useful and useless information. So sometimes I'll just listen to music if I don't want it to be like totally silent. Sometimes I'll do that, but not non-lyrical, so that I'm not filling my head with programming. Like I just want to know what's sitting in my, consciousness and stuff, and then deal with it gently. And then also, I'm really picky about my company because some people are really draining, like emotionally, without realizing it. And it's like probably an unintentional thing because of like trauma and stuff. So you let people deal with that, and then be graceful and stuff like that. Be graceful towards people because it could be you one day, kind of dealing with all those things that you might judge the next person for. Well, not judge, like things that you feel like you would never have done. Like I used to literally feel like, oh, I would never vape like nicotine, because it just sounded and felt stupid to me. And then life smacked me in the face, and then it started off like small, and then I just kind of kept it going. So different things, and then people that make fun of like homeless people or crackheads and stuff that heroin, people that do heroin and meth, and people that do this and do that, and down to fucking vegans versus meat eaters. Some vegans are so judgmental of meat eaters or vice versa. People that eat a lot of meat, they make fun of people that don't, and people that they shop at the thrift store. People that wear designer, they make fun of people like that. And people that shop at the thrift store make fun of people that spend money on stupid shit like $1,700 recycling plastic bags from Balenciaga. It's like, but people need to just let people live unless it's like got something to do with you. I'm not for the racism and the bigotry and then like classism and all that. I'm not for none of that. Like, as soon as it's in my field, I'm out. Like, I don't even want to hear it or be around it because misogyny and politics wars and stuff and all that. Again, people fighting over gangs and this and that, and I'm literally so not doing none of that because I don't want to. And then I be by myself a lot because I just noticed a lot of people like to be in this fighting energy and spirit, and people just look, some people can be so combative and angry at life, and people are itching for excuses and reasons to hate the next person. It's like, look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Figure out what's wrong. Like, what happened to him? There's a reason for everything. Like, there is a cause and effect for everything. But there's also a source, like a general source. Not something to blame. There's always something higher or prior to the something to blame. You can go on and on about fault and who did what and what happened in history and this and that, but it's two sides to a coin, right? So it's like, how you feel about something, somebody on the flip side feels the same way. So there's no such thing as right or wrong. Somebody, you know what I'm saying? People are just on whatever side they're on, and some people are just holding the coin. But life is still fun. I like jokes, and I like jokes when it's understood. When it's understood that nobody should be harmed, like actually. And then we know what the real is versus people that are kind of like, they're evil and they like being mean and like they like being like effed up with the way they think, like, but I'm a firm believer in like grace and what's it called, forgiveness and all that. And then I don't feel like nobody's above anybody or below nobody or anybody. I'm just a geek, like kind of a loner like that sometimes, because a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people feel like their judgment is simply fact sometimes. So it is what it is. Especially if a lot of people agree with them on something, it's hard to see the wrong in how you think sometimes, especially like narcissistic type people that are one-sided AF and stubborn in how you think. Like there's no expansion or like empathy. It's just what they say is what it is. Yeah. I'll just wait. Matter of fact, honestly, I know there's so many wild and crazy things that happen in the world. Like, I'm not aloof, and I'm not like, when I say I'm not for none of that and I don't want to hear it, it's not I turn a blind eye to it, which means I think it doesn't exist. I know a lot of evil exists in the world. I don't feed it attention or energy. If something bad happens, I let that bad thing have happened. And I feel for, like, victims and stuff, but I also am the type of person that likes forward thinking. So just because it happened like that for them, don't mean that it's gonna happen like that for me, because I'm not letting it sit in my head and attract that. I kind of call that like the placebo effect in a way. Like, I had this one best friend in elementary school. Mind you, my elementary school had like a handful of white people. And the white people were basically the ones that didn't look brown, like black, or, you know what I'm saying? So innocently, I thought Latin or Asian or Hispanic was like, if it wasn't brown, it was white. So as you get older, you learn the difference between everything. But I had this best friend who was Hispanic, and we used to do everything together that whole school year. And then my teacher in 3rd grade started teaching us about what happened during slavery and what happened. Man, the classroom used to be so boisterous and full of life and love. And then after that lesson, literally the way the energy in the classroom was so like grim, and everybody was just looking at each other like, and God, I hate your people and your ancestors and you're this and you're that shit. Because did y'all know that we are literally our ancestors? Like, it just make sense, right? When somebody dies, where do you think their energy goes? And then people that love to claim they believe in science, right? Energy is neither created nor destroyed. So if you think billions of people are dying a day and billions of people are born a day, you don't think it's just recycling? Y'all don't think? I don't know. People don't make sense to me. It's like, anyway, so y'all do know that, like, yeah, just because evil is happening doesn't mean you have to keep it happening. Like, thinking of it the way we learned it, like, how do I say it? It's good to forgive people that may have been greedy in our history. And then we use what we learn about our history to create a new future, not recycle history. Recycling is not reusing the same thing to make the same exact thing. It's reusing the material. Gotta say it slow. To make something new. Like, when people recycle plastic, it all just melts into one vat or vat, and then they just make all types of new shit from that plastic. It might be water bottles they turned into a cone, or cones into water bottles, or stupid ass vapes. Like, be for real. Like, why would people want to keep that war going? Like, because people are scared of like the unknown, so they'd rather just stick to what they know, because you really never know. But I'll tell you what you really should know is your gut feeling. And then, you know what feels right and what feels wrong. Like I said, I be having my gut feelings about stuff, and I follow it. And anything that has filled my mind with what I call like paranoia and devil energy, I try to reduce that as much as possible. Like, honestly, anything that's not filling my head with good things for the most part, or something educational or useful, I let it go in one ear and out the other. And otherwise, I'm taking it in and I'm going into the world with that knowledge and like moving accordingly. But that shit is a little lonely, because most people want to be like other people, because fitting in is more important to people than thinking for themselves. And a lot of times people who think for themselves are made to feel like they're crazy, or like they don't know what they're talking about. And then most times they don't have a lot to show for themselves, because a lot of group settings ostracize them and isolate them and push them to the back or push them to the side, because they're just automatically wrote off. And then it's like, but you can't tell people how to think, how to feel, because like I said, we're all on a different evolutionary point. So some people you meet have like a baby soul, and some people you meet have like an old soul. It's all types of up to people what they like to live their life like. There's a lot of simulation games that emphasize survival mode versus creative mode, and I'm gonna just let that be what I just said. I feel like creative mode is more so a mindset that's like you're creating, like you're in God consciousness, like you're accepting and inclusive and forgiving and gracious and sharing and caring, and you're honest or authentic, you know what I'm saying? Like, not a people pleaser, like, not people who are not perfect and stuff. I don't feel like if you rock with God, you always on God's good side 24/7, and you're this perfect person and you never make mistakes and you don't get tempted and this and that. But then there's survival mode, people that's always in fear and always in like this low energy and like always in this like fighting energy, like, like this lack mentality, like if I lose they win, or if I win they lose, and this and that. And it's like, you gotta come up out of that if you want to. And they feel like they can't have faith in God, like they have to go and do whatever they can to survive. That mode is, kind of unhealthy, and it's killing. And then it's like people that don't sleep and they always work and they don't rest and they don't take care of themselves, and they don't in turn can't take care of other people because they gotta take care of themselves, and all their life they have to fight and this and that. And there's so many flaws in a lot of the normalized sayings that people have. Like, they don't realize, like, there's so much more power in what you say and how you think than you realize, like, because you can't save everybody in a day. It's kind of like in Finding Nemo, and everybody was scared to touch the boat, and Nemo was like, was it Nemo? Yeah, Nemo was. Nemo was like, whoosh. What's the dad's name? Marlin. Oh, no. It's also kind of like the Little Mermaid when her dad, he was worried about Ariel dealing with, like, humans. I'm using this as a metaphor. However you can apply it. He was just worried about how dangerous humans are and how they're, like, reckless and, like, human. And she was supposed to just stay underground forever, like, to him, because it's better to be safe than sorry. But I like how they made a second movie to show that life goes on. Like, it's okay. Like, there's not an immediate storm warning just for being human. Like, I can't blame her dad over here. People are wild out here sometimes, but you gotta focus more on people that aren't. Like, you know what I'm saying? And be safe though. Like, be cautious. Be cautious of people you're around and stuff that you do, because yeah, you still have to have, like, good, what's it called? Discernment and shit. I feel like one day I'll probably have, like, a podcast and shit, and literally just let it just be like, or like a live thing, because that way it's just, now being my tea. Trying to fix my posture. Being so nice, or no, being so kind. Cause I feel like being nice is more people pleasing. Like, people, sometimes I feel like people feel like being nice, what's the word? Guarantees their expectations being met from another. Like, that's why you should be kind with no expectation, because if you're being nice for the wrong reasons, you're not gonna get what you're looking for out of nothing, because you're not being authentic. You're being fake. You're trying to treat things and people like a vending machine and not like people. Like some people will say, well, I'm being so nice to you, I'm giving you so much, or I'm doing so much for you, and I'm not getting anything back. That's a red flag. You know, like, treat people how you want to be treated, and keep it like just like that, and then you'll see life treats you way better when you're realistic and real, and you'll live a long, happy life like that. Because your payout is not dependent on anything outside of you, for real, if that makes sense. It's gonna be, you're already paid. yeah, the internet is a crazy place because people sometimes they can't differentiate between a meme or a joke and somebody's actual way of thinking, right? Some people blow things out of proportion. Like I noticed some people are trolls, like they take things too far because a lot of people aren't unserious. I mean, yeah, unserious. A lot of people are on the side of serious AF, and some people are unserious AF. So it's like you gotta find a middle ground with all that type of jazz. Like, that's why it's good to have a balance. Because granted, it's really nice to be unserious in such a world where a lot more bad things seem to happen or are focused on than good things, right? And then you still want to have a good footing, like know who you are and have a core and like a direction. And people feel like, you know, people aren't allowed to change, or like they're not allowed to change. If you feel like you've thought a certain way your whole life and then you learn something and then you feel like, you know what, they're right, or like, you know what, I was wrong, or you know what, this and that and the third, you can do that. You could just move forward like that and give people time to gravitate towards what feel right to them. And then don't judge people so soon. I'm sorry, I was cooking. So let me get that shit off my elbows. Yeah, don't be so quick to judge people, and don't be quick to assume, like, just because somebody looks like, for example, America's favorite topic, just because somebody looks black or looks, you know, a certain way doesn't mean they live a certain way or they think a certain way or they act a certain way. And they're just grouped in with everybody else. And then just because somebody, you know, look white or act white and this and that don't mean, you know, they're evil or scary, like, or like, what's it called? People are not, like, let's say, like, you know, there's a basket of fruit. It only take one bad apple to make the whole bunch bad. But I'm the type of person to feel like, if I see the rest of them are okay, I'm not about to be like, oh, forget all. It's like, no, but actually though, like, seriously, like those teachers that feel like when one student is acting up, everybody gotta be punished. Like, bruh, what do you mean? You know, sometimes I watch a lot of like body cam videos, and it pains me to see comments like, not just body cam videos, okay, even Twitter debates and stuff. Like, people will say, oh, that's just how those people are, or you know how they are, and you know what they're saying, and it's just like, oh, you just must have never seen nothing else. And then there's like this case right now, I don't know if I should mention it, but it is about this lady who went on a vacation with someone, and basically, you know, I think it's really fear mongering, I think, to be honest, but I'm not gonna get into all that because I'm an individual thinking type person. So yes, it's good to keep your eyes out because a lot of people aren't, and a lot of people are on that time in programming where they either on the good side of life or the bad side. So it's basically about this lady who went on vacation with her boyfriend or fiance, which she became his fiance. And I think the key focus is the fact that they're not of the same race or whatever. And so people say shit like, this is why people shouldn't do this, or even or think about it, or try to date people like outside of their race, and just totally dismissing the healthy, long-lasting and racial things that have happened in life, or like, oh, people playing with this and that. That's a them thing, or that's like we would never do that. You know, never say never. Like sometimes your own people could be against you. Sometimes you never know. Like, I've been around all types of different types of people within one racial group, and they all act totally different. And there's no way to act like your race, in my opinion. And then I've been around lots of different types of people that are within my racial group, or people that look like me, and they make fun of me because of how I eat, or how I like music I listen to and stuff, and how I talk and all that. And I'm just like, there's a lot of internalized issues within our own community, so I never thought to say, oh, I'm about to write off other communities or people and generalize, because you can tell yourself you're safe with people that look like you and shit like that, and then you're feeling like how you thought you would have felt with somebody that looked like something you taught yourself to be scared of and shit. That's just my 2 cents. That's why it's good to just feel things out, feel people out, and not assume stuff, because you just never know someone or something till you really actually know. And then if you're religious, pray all the time. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not, just love yourself and love people. And when I say love, I'm talking about acceptance, like accepting people's differences and your, what you would perceive as flaws and stuff. Because nobody is perfect.
Zero harsh ingredients, zero sodium compromise. That's the Huggies Skin Essentials White.
And God really weighs all sins equally, right? So, granted, there's different weights and different scales to balance with different things. Like, somebody lightly tapping you versus like punching you is different. It's a different force, so you probably would have a different reaction from that. But I'm saying, at the end of the day, God will see that as ugly, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just, you know what I'm saying, repent and Try not to make the same mistakes and judge other people's sin, no matter how grand you think it is, how small it is, because really God sees also. Judging the next person alone is sin. I know so many people, they take religious texts so seriously, and they read things so literally, and a lot of people are selective about different texts and contexts and things like that. So you take what you want from what you consume. Just like art is up to is up for free interpretation, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Meaning, you're just gonna see what you're looking for out of anything. So if you want to see something negatively, you're gonna see that. And if you want to see something positively, you're gonna see that. I feel like I'm so blessed because I just focus on keeping my heart pure. Like, I'm not perfect on nothing, so sometimes I get negative thoughts, sometimes I do bad things, but I do try not to dwell on bad things or do too much of something I know I shouldn't do, right? Like, if I get in trouble for something and I get away with it, you know what I'm saying? Or if I get God's forgiveness and shit like that, I don't play with that. Like, I don't just take advantage of that. Yeah. Well, my hair is still clean. I'm trying to get this done. Oh yeah, typically, you see my scalp looks clean and all. And the last time I washed my hair was like a week ago or something. Wait, really? Probably like a week and a half ago. And you know, you're not supposed to really, if you have natural hair, you're not supposed to strip it so much, so. Plus, I'm not barely putting product in my hair, barely. And different hair types have different needs and shit, so. Yeah. I know coconut oil is antibacterial and stuff, so putting it on my scalp alone is probably just like, it's like a quick little grab of like any excess oil already there. Like, I'm kind of doing like that so I could just get it off and then brushing it out. Which is why I'm explaining all this so slowly. One day I'm gonna do like a wash and go, so I can actually see what my hair is actually like, because I do a lot of braids and twist outs for growth's sake, but I'm still curious, like, so I would need like certain products and stuff so I can actually do it and not kind of with what I have, because right now I have things only focus on growth, like not really styling and what is it, defining and stuff like that. My curls, but I could define my curls and stuff like that. I know how to do that, I just don't. And my hair type, I actually don't even really know. It looks different all the time. It feels different all the time, depending on how much water I drank, how much protein I'm having, how clean my hair is, how tangled my hair is, how often I do it, what type of like products I put in it, all that and all that. So I'm gonna do like an actual wash and go so I can see what it's giving. I just feel like I'm trying to learn how to be kind and nice without giving too much of myself away, because I've done a lot of that in the past. Excuse me. I've done that a lot, where I felt like just because I'm nice, I have to be pulled in 5-10 different directions, and then like emotionally I'm just kind of like wide open for people and stuff, and it's like, oh no, I had to learn to be like able to say no without feeling like my kindness is out the window. Like, no. The reason why I don't really I don't mix watery products with oily products is, you know, there's a method sometimes people use where they put cream under oil, and I mean, I guess, but I try not to mix oil and water, because if you notice in cooking, you put oil and water together, it doesn't mix, and I feel like if you put like water underneath oil, the oil is not going to be able to really penetrate either. And oil is not moisturizing on its own, but you know, be picky about how you do things. Like, yes, use water for detangling, and then like maybe moisturizing product, but then I don't know, I just noticed like my hair moves just fine. My hair's not dry AF. If I use just coconut oil, there's different types of oils for different things. So I don't know, I just noticed that for me, but if I'm gonna use a leave-in underneath oil, I would use something oil based. That way, if I put oil on top of it every day for like sheen or protecting my shaft, it'll be like a good mix. No, but oil is really, really good. Like, if I put, the less product I put in my hair, I used to think the less product I put, the more dry it would be, but you gotta pay attention to what you're putting in your hair, and don't just put stuff in your hair just because it's expensive. Will like learn your hair. Don't just get the most expensive products and the most heavy products just because. Because actually, a lot of those products and stuff like that has a lot of alcohol in it, and so it's meant for you to buy more of it. So you put more of it all the time. But I ain't gonna say none of that. You know, alcohol is drying, so. Hair naturally produces oil, so, you know, those products that have like alcohols in it for the hold's sake and everything. I know there's a moderation for that, so I know, but I'm just giving small tips. Like, some people will tell you putting just oil is bad, and it depends on what type of oil. you use, or what type of other products you use, or like, you know what I'm saying, how you do your hair. Like, my hair was cleaned, and then I blow dried it out very carefully. Not bone straight, but I blow dried it out a little bit, and then I put twists in it with coconut oil. I tied it down with a silk scarf, and then when I took off the scarf, it really marinated and flattened, so it was just sucking up the moisture, and it shrunk a little bit. So I took it out, brushed it out again, put oil, and then twisted it back and put the scarf, and then it shrunk a little more. So that's literally what my hair is doing. It's just absorbing the oil every day, and it's still clean. And I've had it like that for like 2 weeks, basically, about. So my hair is not dry, it's not breaking. That's the only product I put in my hair. Mind you, I probably used the hotel shampoo that I was staying at. So, you know, that's not really the best for natural hair. Very stripping, but that's how good coconut oil is for my hair. I learned that today. Not today, but you know what I'm saying. I learned that. And literally, yes, girl, the coconut oil at the dollar store works too. Shit. And trimming your ends when you know they're bad as F. So if you're trying to grow your hair and you notice, don't let your ends get too bad before you cut it. Like, literally don't wait too long. Like, I'm kind of pushing it because, you know what I'm saying, I'm not pressed, but I need to trim off like about that much. Wait. I need to trim like, honestly, like, I would just go ahead and trim off that much just to be safe. Let's see. I would trim off like that much, even though I can get away with probably that much. I would trim off like most of this, so that it's really, really strong at the end. And then when as my hair is growing, it's just actually hair that's thick and not like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be like Cardi B in that, because that hair is long and thick, not just long. I don't even know how old she is, but by the time I'm her age, I'm taking notes. And you know, I think she just uses a lot of natural masks and stuff. I'm not gonna say nothing, but she has like a new hairline and shit. I would still use it, but you know, I think people that have like really long or healthy, because it doesn't have to be long to be healthy, but really long hair and stuff like that, they use like like food type products, or like they just eat healthy, like they just eat a lot of like avocado, or like they use avocado in their hair and like coconut oil and shit, and then they don't go and buy the whole line of meal and like pre-poo and protective style this and this and that. I mean, yeah, they do, but they actually don't do the most. Like, less is better, or less is more, if that makes sense. And I have like literally my teeth were so tight and fucked up. It was like I had like a wisdom tooth somewhere, but when I used to look up here, something was like uneven somewhere. So I've been literally fixing my back and my neck. Cause I had braces when I was like 16. And then I had a retainer after that. So when they took that out, I was like 24. No, I had braces from 16 to 18, and then when I was 18, I had a permanent retainer right there and right here. And then it kept my teeth in place because this tooth used to be all the way up there. So they had to do that for me because my shit would have moved. Crazy. But oh, actually, I'm gonna put a picture of how I looked when I was 16. See, you can't see it all that well, but when I was 16, I had a graphic design class, and I used to sit next to these seniors, and one of them was like, girl, you gonna be bad as shit one day. Basically saying, bitch, you're chopped right now. I remember what it looked like. And then some people used to be playing in my face like, I didn't have a gap, because I used to have a gap. My gum was so low down and like halfway down my teeth. It was just like you couldn't tell, but I definitely had an exponent tooth. Bitch, you should have seen my diary when I was 16. It was literally like hell on earth. I used to be so mean to myself. And my teeth down here used to be like crooked. Like, fun fact, I actually love like when people have like crooked bottom teeth. I don't know why. Or just like not perfect teeth. And like I actually like gaps. Like my gap came back. Like, hold on. I'm gonna show my teeth before I had braces. And then right after I had braces, they were scary straight. I didn't even really like it. I looked like Bender from Futurama. But my gap is back. Hold on. Everything's stretching out again because it couldn't. And then they took the retainer out. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I know for your YouTube channel, really, it's probably gonna grow better if you do trending content and things like that. So I'm just taking advantage of my channel being small right now and then letting people get to know me through that because I'm kind of to myself a lot otherwise. So I'm not really being picky with my channel and trying to have it be like a certain amount of subscribers by a certain time frame. And then I'm basically just doing how I want. So I prefer long form content because that's the type of content I watch. Because right now I ain't got really much going on. I'm not gonna lie. Am I trying to have more going on? Yes. But do I? Not really. And I'm not mad at it. So that's the type of content I watch. So I watch short and long form content, but I'm talking about I watch podcasts and stuff like that. And then I watch like vlogs that are long. I watch all types of stuff that's like long. And sometimes I just have it on playing in the background while I'm actually doing things in real life. So even if I'm not looking at the screen the whole time, I'm like listening. So let me get a little close. Talking, and then start getting lip gloss goo on your mouth and shit. It's like oh, and I didn't know I have a tongue tie. Or I didn't know that some people don't. I thought that was normal. And then I have one up there too. But it's crazy. So what I noticed is I have a little lisp that got better as I got older. Who cares? As I got older, it's not so noticeable. But then I did notice before having a YouTube channel and talking so much about different things and practicing and talking versus like I used to like not do that so much. My speech was a little no, my speech was fine, but I did not enunciate a lot. Sometimes like I would speak fast when I was growing up, and it was just like and then like just like true. But now I try to enunciate just in case, so I could stretch it out a little bit, so that way I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. Y'all remember that dude that proposed to Kiki Palmer? I'm so not focusing on her life. I just thought when I first saw the video, I thought she knew who that was, and I thought that was like her boyfriend or something, and he was just proposing to her, and she was just looking at him like, why would you do this right now? And then I read the replies and everything under the like post, and everybody was just going, she doesn't know who that is? Oh, that's crazy. And that's the dangers of parasocial relationships, because some people feel like they're in a relationship with you if they know you in real life, or they like you in real life. Some people, they don't, they never met you a day in their life, but they know of you, or they watch your content and stuff, and they LARP, like they live as if you're their motherfucker. When I say LARP, I mean, what's it called? Live action role play and shit. And it's just like, but yeah, I really grew up to like kind of doing a lot of research and different things that a lot of people around me weren't really the most interested in, because let's be honest, I just be looking up stuff sometimes just to look it up, or just stuff just intrigues me. I just be like, got nothing to do with my life, got nothing to do with me. Like, they need a Black Mirror season 8. Like, stat. Because if I have to watch another episode that I already watched again and again and again, I'm probably still gonna do it, but I'm not gonna like, I'm gonna cry because I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with that series. I kind of like when my hair's like this, more like face forward instead of mostly in the back. Even though I wish I had a braid right here or something. But oh well, because I'm probably gonna wear hats and stuff. I'm so glad I accepted that I'm like a sensitive person, or like I have feelings and stuff, because sometimes they can come off as like standoffish or angry too. Like sometimes people that get mad easily or sad easily, or they don't really come off super smiley and friendly and talkative to everybody and hi everybody and hi and like, you know what I'm saying, throw themselves in the flame. That don't mean that they're like an asshole. They just pretty shy. If like I had to like always explain that to people. Well, not always. I don't explain that to people. I stay away from for the most part. Sorry. If I ever have kids one day, if or when, I'm never gonna smoke around them. Like, if I have to smoke, I will literally go outside or in a different room. They'll never really see me smoke because I don't want them to think that shit is cool. I'm literally gonna. I'm not gonna like if I were to see my kids smoking and stuff like that, like young, I wouldn't really chew them out or yell at them really, but I would just really show them instead of tell them like what could happen. Because I didn't smoke nothing until I was like really 18 or 19, like nothing. I just had like contact nicotine and whatever. So, and then definitely not drinking around them either. Like I'll be like I'll do what I do and stuff or whatever, but I'm never gonna have it just sitting around on the table, in the house, in their face and stuff like that. Just so it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen what it does. And the bad decisions people make, and then like what's it called? Types of arguing and fighting, and then you look back, you're like, oh man, I don't ever want to be really yelling or arguing around kids and stuff like that. I don't know, I just wanna not influence like that. Like, it's actually really, let's see. Like I like that I'm at least like self-aware. Like a lot of stuff that I do sometimes I don't like, but that's why I don't, you know what I'm saying, try to kill myself with it. Like I don't know. I gotta try to be for real. Like I don't feel like I'm walking around like just know it all or can't do no. Everybody guess something. Alright, so this is calling for a shrimp. This see-through and wait, it's not that bad. But yeah, this is something called shrimp. Right about there. Yeah, just that. But I'm leaving it because I don't want blunt ends right now. I just wrap my ends around. But you don't want to leave your split ends too long. Like you don't want it to get to the point where it's like crawling up to like up here, and then you might as well chop out. Like, you know, I've never relaxed my hair or bleached it, but I've developed back of the back of my head. And that's really about as far as I'll ever really go with my hair, because I didn't even like how it made that part of my hair feel. It literally felt so different from the rest of my hair. So after that, I left it alone, because I always wanted to do a color, but I'm not. So there's colors I like and would do, but I'm gonna just use like hair wax and not bleach. Like, I have a lot of hair, but it's actually kind of fine. Like, it can get real thin. You know what I'm saying? It'll look huge, but my hair is super malleable, or dare I say influential, so it'll just do whatever. See. It'll go with the flow. And then I feel like, yeah, it's better to have your hair stretched out, like either blow dried or just naturally stretched out, like without heat. And then let oil be distributed like throughout your strand, because then there's less breakage, and then there's less chance for like knotting. And then yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, these ends are getting more see-through right here. Hold on. My hair was really, really brown, like at one point. Sometimes it looks real brown in the sun, the part that I developed. Still, like, it'll get like a nice little catch of the light, and then it'll be pretty noticeable compared to my dark hair. I do not want to have it looking or feeling crazy. Yeah, if I straighten my hair, it would be like wild. It'd be like, hold on, keep my neck straight. Yeah, it's so crazy. I used to have bangs. So this is the part that I did like a triangle. Like this. And then I went and chopped it like right there. And then I straightened it up. And now it's not bangs anymore. Like, none of it is. It's all the same length. It's wild. I did that like 4 years ago. So it caught up. It's so weird how you cut, if you big chop or something or whatever, it grows so much faster than if you were to have your hair on your head, because your body just tries to regenerate stuff. So that's cool. And this is also what I like about longer videos, is it really lets you know who actually fucks with you, because or like actually likes your, like what you have to say. Because if you just use Instagram to talk to somebody, or like Twitter, they're just looking at you like they don't care. They don't really, most of the time. They just want to see something. Go get something. And that's why I really like you too, because you can be yourself, and then also other people can be themselves, and then okay. So I hate when I get I hate when I get the little corners, because it's literally lip gloss. It's like a collection of like the fucking lip gloss. It just looks so annoying. It just gets on my nerves. But I know what it is. Like, it's not like fucking crack or it's like mixing, what's it called, water and oil, basically. I was watching this in my Strange Addictions episode on YouTube, and one of the girls, she literally snorted cleaning products, like not just sniff safely and shit. No, she was really like absorbing it into her nose. And she came out the bathroom, and she was at a restaurant with her friends, and she was trying to tell her friends that she does that. Sorry. She was trying to tell her friends that she does that, and then she came out the bathroom to the table with this stuff on her nose, and her friend was like, it's giving crack. It was funny because I mean, it did. I mean, it looked like that. So what they supposed to think? Also, this is not, I don't have any firm political standings. All I believe in is freedom. All right. I don't have nothing against July 4th or Independence or Independence Day or nobody or nothing. Okay. You know, like when people say, if somebody says, inserts here, lives matter, people think that equals you're saying other lives don't. So it's just like, ugh. Don't put words in my mouth. I do not believe in no black or white or Asian or etc. or Latino or nothing supremacy. Like, I feel like we all share the earth, so we all bring something different. And sometimes all of us are using all the same ingredients and the same things and calling it different shit. So don't nobody do it better or whatever. It's just all the same shit. Like, me for real. Like, when you see those posts, it'd be like, only Africans know about this, only Latino, only black people know this. It's like, the most shared common thing. Like, it's so many different rice dishes in the world called different things. But I do like variations in learning about stuff, just so you don't, accidentally appropriate or maybe accidentally like offend people. Like, do be respectful to people's differences, because it is different, but it's all the same. That's what I'm saying. All from the same source. Okay, I can see remnants of the bangs Actually, now that I think about it, these are showing me that I had bangs. These pieces, so that's cool. When you're not capping. And then these probably never grew because I probably missed it and split ends probably didn't crawled up to the top. And I just never noticed. So yeah, I can actually see I need to trim like that much so it can actually grow. But you can see how it's long, but it's fake long. If I straighten this, it would be so much thicker at the top than the bottom. So I need to trim it. That's why you don't let split ends sit for too long. Prime isn't. I would get locks, but I would get locks, but because I changed my hair and my mind so much, I don't think I can. You know what I'm saying? My mom had like some great locks. Well, a lot of people in my family have had or have really nice locks. I feel like I have like a familiar face. Like I feel like people always just tell me that like you just look like you know, like it's giving like character, like not like I'm I know what they mean by that. Like it's like like it's just like you feel like you remember them, even if you never met them initially. But you know, so now I can do like this. And then ponytail. I can do like a yeah, mostly it's more girly. Green, red. But I'm not trying to mess up my hair. So. Once it gets fuzzy, I'm gonna just start wearing the hat. But now I'm done. I'm done yapping. If you made it through maybe an hour, maybe 2, or maybe almost more than that, of me rambling. Kudos.